Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. John Mr. Fox here on the show this evening. It's Southside and Bridgeman. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, Ox. Good to be on the night. I'll give a shout out to all the trips on YouTube that are in this evening listening to the show, people on Facebook and Twitter listening. And it's good to be on with the legend, the Bridgeman, mate.
Evening, Bridge.
Oh, evening, Ox, yeah. Nice to be on tonight, and of course, for yourself and the South Side will look after me, I hope. And the boys and the techie boys in the background. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans that are listening in, all over the world, great result on Saturday. Very, very pleased with it. Good 2 goals, and we need to keep that going. And good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, Mr. Southside, do you want to tell the world, or do you want me to tell them?
You like to spread stories, so might as well let you go.
No, I'm not spreading any stories, mate. Do you want to tell the world, or shall I?
No, you can tell them. I want to put yours. You might as well say how you see it. Then I can explain it if it doesn't sound too good.
I only tell the truth. Bridgeman knows that. Your Honour.
I think as Bridgeman doesn't know, does he?
No,
I don't know yet, no.
But Bridgeman knows. Right, my phone goes. Is that correct? Just about a few minutes before the kick-off of the game. Is that correct, Mr. Southside? Are you with me at the moment?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Stop me when I tell, when you think I'm telling any porkies. Mr. Bridgeman, the phone call was from Mr. Southside, who was with Mr. AK. Is that correct, Mr. Southside?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. And Mr. AK proceeds to inform me that Mr. Southside had a choice of 2 lines at the weekend for Southside Super 6. Stop me if I'm wrong, Mr. Southside.
Well, I had the one line that was meant to be.
Aye, right. So let me carry on.
Aye, okay.
So, Mr. Bridgeman, Mr. Southside gave the world and all the Rangers punters a line that was absolutely guff. The other line that he proceeded to put on, paid out how much? How many to 1?
34.5 to 1.
So, I reckon I'm at least due a third, maybe a third to AK, and we'll let you keep a third for being a trier.
Oh, brilliant.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well done, my big mate.
Listen, if I hadn't been so harassed on Friday, right, I would have done the one that came up, because that was the one I picked.
And you're blaming
but the text came in,
that?
and then the text came in, so by the time I had to try to type all that out, I thought I'll just pick 6 other teams and just give them. But sharp it on anyway, you know.
Are you saying I was harassing you, or somebody else was harassing you?
You were harassing me. You were harassing me because I had to type it all out.
To put in Southside Super 6, and you picked the right one.
I know. Well, I did because it came up for me, but I should have had it on.
Well done, big man.
Aye, well done to me, but it's not for the listener, is it?
Super 6 came up?
No, the one we had.
No, so he gave you
the original one should have been Bridgeman.
The winning one you should have gave to the boys.
Anyway, we digress. How's the bridge?
I'm very good, pal. Thank you very much. Very pleased with the game the weekend.
Outside with that big wallet.
Oh.
Aye, it's half empty now, mate.
It doesn't last long, does it?
No, it does not. Certainly does not.
Aye, well, right, okay. A decent performance at the weekend, but most of the stuff that have been talked about is possibly after part. But we'll stick to the football first, if that's all right with you two, gentlemen, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Obviously, we'll take the game. There was a lot happening at the start, and with a lot of decent possession without maybe doing too much. And one of the faults we've had this, we don't get enough maybe balls in the box, or we don't make enough chances. We played some decent stuff with young Raskin coming to the fore. Gassama, for me, I've got a different view with you, Southside, on Asgard, but I'm sure we'll debate it on and off air. And we were huffing and puffing without making a lot of changes. I thought Gassama looked a far better player on the left. I don't know what you gentlemen think. And on the right, Mickey Moore, listen, I don't think he was poor, but I don't think he's bringing a lot to the party, if I'm honest. And it does look as if he's struggling a wee bit with the physicality and the pace of the game. You know, he does look like a young boy playing men's football. And that's not saying he's not a talent. He might come again, you don't know. But anyway, we played some decent stuff, and then pretty much with one of their first attacks of the game, mate, they puffed and puffed, and there wasn't a lot in it. He gets a goal, and I've got to be honest, I don't know about you at the game, Southside, but initially, if I noticed that handball again, that's 2 weeks in a row. I've not seen them live. I usually noticed it, but when you see them back, you're saying, if this doesn't get chopped off, there's something wrong, because, you know, the way he played it. It was a decent move for him. He brought it down, and we know he's done it before. And he scored a goal, and you're thinking, here we go again. So possibly we got a bit of luck, but God, after a week before, we were due it with our Southside.
Well, obviously, after last week's one that we don't get, and they've already come out and said it was an incorrect decision. I mean, pay £100,000 or whatever it is to install VAR to get to clowns to make a mess of it, you know, which it doesn't benefit you at all in any way, shape or form. But at the game, I never knew that he'd actually handled it. I knew Frank Connor on the line wasn't going to raise a flag or anything like that anyway. I wasn't sure if he was offside or no, because the ball got played that quick. But then I seen it was going too far, and all they tell you it's a potential handball. Had no idea. But looks like we got the correct decision. But obviously, if we're not getting the one the week before, it would have been a double whammy, wouldn't it, if they had tried to cut and allow that one to go in, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was the right decision, mate. You know?
Well, we're on the receiving end of a correct decision for a change-ups.
Doesn't happen often, but you've got to take it as it comes. So, it just makes you puzzle how the one the previous week was the chopped off Bridge manner.
Yeah, I think you'll forgive me, guys. I actually think when that goal was scored and he was celebrating, and then the VAR looked at it and said that was a deliberate handball, as far as I'm concerned, he should have been booked. He should have been booked. He knew it hit his hand, but you've got to play the whistle. As far as I'm concerned, that was a deliberate handball. They can say what they want. That's a booking for me. That's a booking. However, well done the VAR this time, getting it right for us. Because
I think there was a resignation this morning, Bridge, but
there was a what?
There was a resignation.
From whom?
The VAR guy.
He'd been forced out, is that it? Oh dear. You know, by the way, it's the first time for a wee while that VARs came to our side, you know, when you're under pressure. But it was worth it. It was worth it, by the way. I'm really pleased we got that, because that took the pressure off. As soon as that ball went in the net, everybody was thinking, oh my God, here we go again. You know, fortunately, it didn't stand. And we started to come into the game after that.
What I will say is, Southside, whether you like it or not, it was another major refereeing call. It was wrong.
Aye, what doesn't surprise you? Some of them do wait till VAR to bail them out. But like I said at the time, he's cushioned it down into his path. Obviously, I haven't even really seen the replay back, to be honest. You don't show nothing at the game, so you don't know. He just went potential, but even haven't actually seen it back since it happened in the game on Saturday. But by all accounts, I was taking it, he's cushioned it. with some parties' arm, and he was right into his path, and he was away for Cornelius. But aye, listen, we deserve to get it. If it was a conclusive handball, it's about time we get something put in our favour, to be honest with VAR.
Well, we don't want any favours, mate, do we? We just want them to be right.
Aye, fairness.
Aye. So it sort of bizarrely seemed to give us a lift. I know they did maybe a header after that. You know, and maybe should have done better. I think there was a miscommunication with young Mahoma and Cornelius when the boy came in at the back post. I think the young boy's got to come in and help go with his runner and cover that space there. And obviously that will grow his relationships, grow Bridgman. Southside.
Aye, Cornelius, he looked all right. He was comfortable. And it's just about trying to grow. There's more games that they can keep a nucleus of the team together, Ox. It's better for us, isn't it? I thought we did good on the left-hand side. I thought Cornelius was good at the back. I think it was good to see Suter go on the right-hand side. I think what we've done is we passed the ball quicker. Don't know if you noticed it, but when the two centre-backs had the ball, they were passing it a lot quicker, because you're watching the game, you can see players free, Ox, and you're like, just zip it and out him. And that was something that we did a bit better on Saturday. It might have been because Suter was more comfortable on the right, and you've got Cornelius on the left. Even the fullback, even Mahona, was good. He was up and down. He was trying to link play. So the more that they sort of play together, and I think Cornelius should come in and nail that position down and play more games than he'll be out. We will have to rest him at some point in certain games. I would imagine he'll spell him. Along with one or two other centre backs at certain times, but I think they know you've got to bed them in together if you think they're the best two, and if Jigger's no part of that at the moment, then he's one that has to sit out.
Aye, so after that, we sort of, with a lot of possession, we were playing some decent stuff, couldn't find the final bar. We looked more likely to come for the left-hand side, Bridgman, with young Gassama. He was looked for most likely to make something happen. Then we get a corner, and you just at that point you're starting to think this is going to put Peter out, nothing each. Tavernier puts a decent corner kick in, fair play to him. And Nico Raskin, like we've seen him the day before, bang, header, right in the goal, mate. Excellent header by young Nico, because he ain't the biggest, but God is he good in the air.
Big jump he had. That was a high jump he made. Brilliant. He's done it before for us, and he's proven he's been a real good player for us. Sadly, there was something going on between him and the manager, and somehow or other he wasn't getting the games. But I thought he was our best player on Saturday, closely followed by the Gasman down the left. I thought our left back and Gasman played very, very well, and excuse me, and Ashgard started to come on again. Really good game in the second half, and we looked lethal. We looked lethal down the left. The young boy Moore, I'm afraid he's no 100% fit for me, but you have to. I dare say the manager has to play him to get some fitness, get something into his legs, get some game time. But there are times in the game he was looking as if he's towing a caravan, and it's really difficult for a youngster because you can't get into the game and they're passing around about you. All these things are happening, and your mind goes haywire. But he came on a wee 10-minute spell where I thought he did not too bad. I was very happy with him, and of course he was deservedly, shall we say, substituted and changed over. And I think that the wee Gasman has been the best players we've had, technical skill-wise. He's been our best player for a while.
So we get the goal for Nico Raskin's header, Southside, and then within a couple of minutes, mate, something had to be done even under the previous manager. Getting the second goal, which changes the whole complexion of the game. We get it in, I think it's Tav. Was it Tav again? Was it Nico?
Nah, he played Andy Moore,
and then he sort of just touched it. And well, I think it was a shot, if I'm honest. Yeah, which was anything he did, put it towards the goal. And Miofsky does what good centre forwards do. Southside puts in the net.
Aye, it's a poacher's goal, isn't it? looking for something in the box, and it fell to him. He dispatched it. It felt like we played the 4-2-3-1, and Mikey Moore wasn't playing wide right. He was playing tucked in. Hence he was in that position when Tav puts the ball in.
I said he was joining the play-ups outside the first half.
He didn't get the ball away a lot. He held it better than he did the last game.
But there was nothing positive, mate.
Well, the only positive is he puts it across the goal, or he goes for goal. But another positive I thought is he didn't get the ball away as much. In the last game he played, I was surprised he was starting. And then obviously when I seen the team heading down to Ibrox, I'm thinking, no, he's not playing me on the left again, Gasman on the right. You know, I was thinking along that line. But obviously he didn't. He played Moore on the right, and he was more tucked in quite a bit at times. Listen, he had that contribution, because if he made a change at half time, or he wanted to make 2 changes, you might have thought that Moore would have been one of them. But I thought he didn't get the ball away. He used it quite well, and just before, like you say, he had a chance, and it comes to a goal. Majowski gets the second goal for it. So at the end of the day, he contributed, although it wasn't greatly. But I just thought he didn't get the ball away as much as he did, and he wasn't making mad runs. I think we were using the left more than the right, but the goal came for the right, and it was the second goal. But aye, end of the day, mate, he's young. I've got to give him a chance. You know, if Finlay Curtis is playing, we want to give him a chance. He is a young player. But aye, it wasn't an inspiring performance for him, let's be honest.
I'm not having a go at the young boy, but I just think Finlay looks as if he's further down the road than he does, mate, if I'm honest.
Well, I think Finlay has done more. I mean, he's been an impact player for us when he's came on. He's found the back of the net. He is one of your own players, and you want to develop him. You've got to remember that Mikey Moore's a young player and all, and okay, he's played in the Premiership in some games and played in the Europa League last year and stuff like that. Finlay's also done it. So now he's getting the chance in front of Finlay Curtis at the moment. But I think you'll find that the two of them might fight it out at times to get on the park, but I don't think the two of them will play very often. So I'd like Finlay Curtis to be getting a chance, mate. He come on later on, obviously, in the game, but at the moment, he's a young boy. He had a better game yesterday than he did the week before, and he contributed in us getting the second goal.
Well, because in 2.5 half time, wasn't our best performance of the season, but we've got the goals, which makes a difference. The second half was arguably our best domestic half, in my opinion. And I think we could have scored 5 or 6. Casaman's shot, good effort, Southside, wasn't it? Good effort, unlucky. Yeah, the Ant-Man run. The Ant-Man run with the Mikey Moore run when he just got it by the post, with the goal chopped off, which I thought actually, obviously it was offside, but I thought it was actually, even in the circumstances, it was still a nice finish for Majowski, a cheeky finish, which you need when you're in that area. If you obviously the help to his own side. Big Shamitri ran through, and I'd liked him to score just to get that monkey off his back. So there's 5. And even at the death, Finlay Curtis was running through and never hit it as well as we know he can, because we've seen him do it as well. But all of a sudden we were getting chances as Hibs were coming in again. And that's what scoring goals does to you, Bridgeman.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. The second half performance was massively different to the first. I thought very, very good. Lots and lots of endeavours, particularly down the left. I thought, again, I said that, I thought Gasman was the second best player we had. And, you know, we peppered their goal. We hit the post, or just scraped the post, and a few shots over the top. And I think it brought something to the fans. The fans could see that we were trying, because we've gone through a few games and no winning, and hardly even getting a shot at goal. But we had quite a few shots at the weekend there, and I'm very pleased with it. And I think we should continue that. That's a great endeavour. I don't want to bum the manager up. I don't know whether it was the players that came, got themselves sorted out or whatever, but it's happened, and like a wee miracle. That actually happened, and they started to gel a wee bit. And by the end of that game, they were a brilliant team compared to what they've been up to now. Anyway, I thought it was an excellent performance by us, particularly second half.
It was okay. It was better than what it's been. I would say it was, if you're right, routine at Ibrox, mate. I was still like us to score more goals, and it's particularly the second half. So because I want us to win both halves.
You'd like to get more goals, but for last week's performance to this week, it's better than it was the week before. But it's still a good bit to go. But you can only go and critique the game as we've seen it. Like you said earlier, if we took a couple of chances in the second half, it would have looked a bit more emphatic. So, listen, we got the job done, Ox. And I thought we were quite comfortable in the game throughout the 90 minutes. I think it was Raskin that passed the ball to Moore, and no Tav.
I think you're right, mate. I think you're right.
But on the whole, I thought we were comfortable in the game for large spells of the 90 minutes. I thought we started off a bit quicker, with making passes were a bit quicker for the centre back. So there was some things in the game that we've done better than we've been doing all season, Oaks.
And of course, when Nico Raskin plays like we know he can, he's a big positive, Southside.
Aye, we all reminded me wee Doddy used to do when he used to run in the box and just get the head on it, and you get into that area. It was a good delivery in for Tav, come in with pace on it, and he just had to make sure he made contact, and he's shown that he's, for a wee guy, he's quite good in the air. And once you're in that sort of position in the box box and you're getting the head on it, it's a good position to be in, and 9 times out of 10 you should probably find the back of the net. And it was good and fitting that he got it. As we know, a lot of us were screaming to get him back in the team, and he certainly made a difference to our midfield on Saturday.
Even if you take the goal out, Bridgeman, he was the best man in the park.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I think we've seen what we've missed, the few games that he's missed and wasn't selected, or whatever was going on. We had a big fallout with the manager, I don't know. But he's a quality. He's came on to a real top level quality for us. I know a couple of times when last season he wasn't doing that great, but I think he's been a really good find for us, and really started to show, and a lot of the fans are turning to really appreciate him. And that was a great goal we scored. It's a great goal. But even as you say, over and above the goal, his play was, when the ball comes to him, he can take it and run. Even that wee 5-yard sprint with the ball, it takes him away from the other players, which is fantastic. So 100% for him, for me, all a best man in the park for me, without a doubt.
I agree. I actually thought it was a man in the match to be quite a distance, if I'm honest. So I know Gassam had done all right, but I thought Raskin was the best man in the park by a distance.
Aye, sir. Gassman had some good runs in that and done quite well, but Raskin, the midfield, as we talked about, we needed to get a blend in there, or somebody in there that will go on the ball and dictate the play and try and make the forward passing and stuff and link the play. And by all accounts, he done that on Saturday, Raskin.
Aye, I thought so. Right, okay. More positives and negatives at the weekend. Clean sheet, some decent stuff. It could have been fantastic. We're not going overboard, Southside.
No, because the bar's been pretty low for a while, hasn't it? We've seen a couple of, we've seen the odd glimpse of this or that. Pilsen, obviously, at Ibrox, and probably winning the first game in Europe to get us to play them at that time. So there's been the odd wee sort of performance here or there, but no, it's been it's a long time since we witnessed us going 2 goals up in the game.
Aye. Bridgeman?
I missed that last bit there from Southside. What was that you said there, Southside, at the end?
This is a long time since I witnessed us going 2 goals up.
Aye, it's, that in itself tells you. The relief in the crowd was incredible. It must have been incredible. We've seen them when Rangers not expected to do it, and all of a sudden they do it. That's a fantastic feeling. And the press, the everything about them, the papers, everything that was going on, the media, were all reckoning the Rangers were going to lose, or Hibs were going to do better against us than they eventually did. And I'm afraid to say they didn't, or I'm happy to say, should I say. I thought we were by far the better team, and what an improvement in the Rangers squad and the way they played. And if this manager has got that, he can get that out of the players, he should be getting that out of the players every week. Every single week, they've got to show improvement all the way. That's the way I see it. I think they did well, but more to come, I hope.
If you think back to the Motherwell game at the start of the season, the first domestic game, Southside, yeah, you had Aaron's playing, Deja, Dowell, Danilo. Still, the teams were evolved quite quickly, but we need consistency and we need to make more chances. Even in Saturday, the second half, a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities, but the first half, a lot of decent stuff, but we need to make more chances. Southside, that's a criticism. The players and the coaching staff, mate.
Aye, well, I mean, a couple of times in the first half, Gasman had to beat them, and a couple of times he checked back and went and beat him again. Whereas if he just went a bit more direct. Chance creation in the first half wasn't great. I thought we held the ball sort of well and put it past it, but without really going up and creating it. We hadn't gave Majorski a chance or anything like that. No, we'd done all right up to certain parts of the game. But like you say, the chance creation in the first half was poor up until we get the goal, which probably relaxes the players a wee bit, and then we managed to get the second goal, which we've all said is critical. And then obviously because it was so close to half time in the second half, we're looking to come out and get a few extra goals. It would have been a bit better for us, but we never. But I thought we controlled the game in large spells against Hibs. They had a couple of chances here or there in the game, but the way we have been playing, it's a wee bit better. It's no brilliant, but it was a bit better odds.
Aye, baby steps if you like. Right, we better get these phone lines open, Bridgeman, eh?
Aye, go for it, bud.
All right, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, okay, aye. Well, I think that's a fair critique of the match, Southside.
Aye. All I said after last week, Ox, I was hoping the only thing I could see at that time going to the game at Ibrox on Saturday was we'd probably change some of the personnel, but I was looking for something to see what was going to be different. When there's a few wee things that we've talked about we're a wee bit better at, and that obviously helped get us the result, to be honest, Ox, at the end of the day.
Aye. At the end of the day, it was a routine performance at Ibrox. You know, if we'd have got the other domestic results right at Ibrox, we would have been so harsh, we would be getting all these criticism, and that's the bar. That's the low bar, but at Bridgeman, we want that bar raised.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, you mentioned there, I think everybody and the whole press and media were expecting Rangers to lose, in my opinion, and they didn't have to tell us what Rangers need to do and so on and so forth. Well, Rangers turned up and they did it. I'm not saying we were the best team in the whole world, but we did it and we won. And I'm not keen on the manager. I make no apologies for saying it. I'm not keen on him, but I've got to give him due. He put the team on the park and he did whatever he did with his discussions with him half time. I thought it magic, and we have to go now. We have to go in positive. Huge game coming up, or games coming up. We need to be able to handle all of them, and hopefully some of these players are starting to get a wee bit of knowledge of this game and how the other players play around about them, which is also very, very important. And when they get there, we'll see what will happen. If they can get it right, it'll be fantastic. Because we've got a lot of good players in the team, a lot of good players. It's just getting it all together, and you know yourself, you get some really good players. But if you've got 3 or 4 smashing players, you have to get them distributed through the park or through the pitch during the game. You can't have really good players doing nothing. We need their quality, and we need to give them the ball. Give them the ball. And
yeah,
I noticed.
Just give it Yorks. Just give it Yorks.
Well, there you go. Do you know what I mean? So you've got a half-decent player that can hold the ball, he can pass the ball, he can see the game. If you can do all that, brilliant.
Everybody can do it, but some people can.
Get the Ox there, he'll do it.
But aye, listen, we'll discuss the manager, and we'll critique just Saturday Southside, yeah, before we look at the big picture. Is that fair?
Aye, well, so we do talk about how we think they performed on Saturday, isn't it?
So he set his team up, a couple of changes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. So he then, game is due, he's moved Gasserman back to the left, where I think we all think he's more effective. He just looks more comfortable for some bizarre reason, even though he's right-footed. Doesn't add up for when you think back with this, if you like, inverted wingers, for the want of a better term. Back in the day, the right winger was right-footed predominantly. So you get a byline and put a cross in. Things have changed. It's more that coming in. But he just looks more comfortable on the left. And he's also got his partnership with a young left back. Suter, as you rightly pointed out, looks a wee bit more comfortable playing on the right-hand side. Even though I don't think John is somebody that's going to go through a season without having an error. No one, he's not the most comfortable with the ball. He's fit. He's more a natural defender. So, and when you throw in bringing Nico Raskin back into the team Southside, there was some positives in it. Gasserman, Suter, everybody, square pegs, square holes, mate. And it helps, mate. It helps. Sometimes he's in round pegs and square holes.
Aye. Raskin was keen to try and come short at times and go on the ball, and then he was turning the man to go forward. If he did play it back, then we zipped it a bit quicker out to the wings. I thought Suter done all right. You knew how Hibs were going to come and play. They wanted to play with the pace up at front and try and get in behind you. But I thought Suter done all right. I prefer him on the right, and like any defender or centre back, we always have a wobble of that in them probably at times throughout a season. But at the moment, you just want him to play in his natural position, and I think on the right hand side for him suits him a lot better. And obviously with Cornelius coming in, you're filling the space that should be filled. He's a left centre back, or you could use him as they say at left back, so it gives a better balance to the team. And Tav obviously was an outlet and birds up in the body of him. But I thought with Raskin in the middle of the park, he bombed about, he got involved a lot on the ball. All right, first half we didn't have a lot of chance creation, but we finished up with 2 goals going in at half time. So on the whole, there's a wee bit of, I think because we moved the ball quicker at times, and players were quite free at times, and they were getting it a bit quicker than in the last few weeks. We knew they were there, and you could see it on the park, but they were taking their time to find them. And I think that all helped on Saturday. Because at the end of the day, Hibs had come and scored a lot of goals this season in games, and they went away we've finished up with a clean sheet against them. Ops.
Yeah, I think we did very well. I thought it's magic for Rangers to go with a clean sheet, which isn't happened for a wee while, So I was really, really happy with that. Nice result for us. Obviously, it could have been more, in my opinion. Although I do say, in all honesty, I think Hibs could have scored 3 goals against us easily. But for some reason,
I get that, Bridge. But we could have scored 8 or 9 at the finish.
Yes, of course. As we saw in the second half, we made a lot of chances. I played a lot better football, and we actually outplayed Hibs by a landslide. We were a far better team than them. So just we I've said this before. We seem to make silly mistakes, particularly in the first half of games now, and we still did the mistakes, but we managed to get them recovered. And a wee bit of VAR and going for us was even better. I'm delighted. I can't say any more than that. Just delighted.
So again, the manager was improved in his selection and maybe his positioning of players. One thing that did upset me a wee bit was the slow reaction of getting Diamondi after parting, mate. I think you've got to be aware of these things, mate. You got yourself booked and he was getting involved. And when the game's like that, so I said, the players should be warming up and just react. Yeah? Get them off.
Aye, he probably should have, but he's probably trusted him, putting his trust in him to a point. I think, I know, and managers do it. Sometimes they're saying, right, get him off, and now maybe he's losing the heat a wee bit. You've seen the past. But aye, he should have probably had him off quicker than he did Ox, to be honest.
Just a small thing, but something that had wound me up, mate. So, overall, okay. Right, we're going to just go to Asgard, mate. Yeah. You see him slightly different from me, mate. Yeah, listen, there's no doubt the boy's got ability. And he's got this style that I think it'll make him look as if he's sort of, I don't know. I don't think the word's lazy, but that's his style. He's quite a cool player, if you like, Southside. I just think he's got to either just influence a wee bit more than final third, and I still can't work out where he's playing. And I'll tell you what, I could see the area he was playing in at the weekend, but it was Diamandi and Raskin back and then the covering in midfield and getting up and down the park. He doesn't seem as if he's got that string to his bow. But he's got other strings that could be positive. You can see he's got ability. And he just has to get up to speed, and that's me being kind. I think you've seen it slightly different, Southside.
Aye, you can see he's got physical attributes on him. He's tall, he's physical. You can't really push him off the ball. I think he holds the ball well. He's an intelligent player, and I think he'll get a lot better as the weeks go by, as long as the team are performing. You can see he's a football player in there, and I think he will start to score and all, and maybe assist. But I thought he was comfortable on Saturday in the game. I thought he got his head up quite a lot. There was one I noticed when he passed the ball back to Cornelius in the first half. As soon as he passed it back, I've watched it for weeks. Players have just stood because the centre-backs got the ball, but he didn't. He ran right into space, made it easy for Cornelius to play the ball inside him, and he picked it up and then went to play it forward. So I just think it's about him settling in. I think he will go by players with ease when he's on the ball. It's just a matter of him he's just getting in the team. Look, this is his sort of run of games. It was a stop-start for him. He was injured pre-season. And the team were all lacking confidence, as we've seen, up until yesterday. And I thought probably yesterday, I think he'll be a player, he'll keep the ball well. He's got an intelligent pass in him. And I think it's just about giving him a bit more time to develop. So I wouldn't be too harsh on him, because I think he's got everything that we want. And I think what he'll bring to the team going forward.
I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. I'm only critiquing what I've seen, but just people see the game different, Bridge.
Yeah, but I think the players. I don't think he's 100% match fit yet. I don't mean physically, but I mean match fit. You can see that where he gets caught a wee bit. Once he passes a player, he kind of slows down, and the player catches him back up. The wee bit of awareness you've got when you're fully match fit. You're on top of your game, and you're away, step past them, or even move to the side where they can't get around you. These kind of things, and he gets caught in possession a wee bit. But there's no doubt, as Southside said, he's came onto a game, and he's going to be a real, for me, a real powerhouse in midfield for us. But he's got to get his game together on the pitch. This eye-ball coordination, these kind of things that matter. as you know yourself.
It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be watching him closely. And he started for 10 is Nico Raskin, mate. That's his starter for 10. That's your baseline. Rich?
Who, me? Oh, sorry.
Rich.
Folks, I get mixed up as well there. I do
Sorry,
apologise.
boys. Sorry.
I got it right in my head now.
Rich.
What was the question? Sorry.
Asgard, I think he's got to just get a wee bit more of his game, and your baseline's Nico Raskin, mate. That's your baseline. You know, he can lead it, he wins tackles, he runs forward. He's got flaws, but we've watched Nico at times when his distribution's been better. But that's your baseline. So then have to start creating between if it is Diamande, Asgard, and Raskin, and then Raskin said an assist. Well, are you giving him an assist for the first goal, or does Moore get it for the second one? Sorry, Southside.
Moore gets the assist.
Absolutely.
Aye. Listen, like you're saying, Asgard, how many different midfielders has he played with in the team when he's been picked to play? We've got to settle a midfield down. So if Raskin's...
Cameron.
Barron.
Barrett.
Possibly, aye, at the moment, off the top of your head. So if Raskin, which we hope is going to be the number 6 at the moment, then Asgard at the moment has got a chance for him to go forward and form a partnership together in there. Should he, because he played the 4-2-3-1, that's basically what we played. Because you could see it when we were just building the play. So Diamande and Raskin came short.
Asgard in a sort of 10, sort of.
Aye, had him sort of just in there, aye. Mm-hmm. And Mikey Moore was pulled in and wasn't so wide out, and wasn't playing so wide in the right hand side. Hence, when we get the goal, if Raskin plays it in, Mikey Moore's in that inside position. He wasn't out in the wing or anything like trying to deliver a ball in. So I think going forward, Asgard will be in the team. I think if and when, if he considers Joe Rothwell in the future, when he's back fit or when he wants to bring him in, then I think he would probably play on the right, and I think it's between Asgard and Diamande to play on the left, because Asgard's already said he prefers to play on the left of the 3 in the midfield. But like you say, he played central there in that sort of role, and we'll see going forward. But I think at the moment, looking at the midfield, Raskin, Diamande and Asgard are the 3 that I think I've got the starting berths at the moment.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't disagree with that.
You just take it as it comes and build. And you want some competition for places like John Barron a couple of weeks ago had an excellent game against that mob. So that's his baseline. Diamande. I thought he'd done okay, but a couple of times just stupid fouls. A couple of them are right in front of you, Southside, yeah? Stupid fouls.
Mm-hmm. You get to get into the game in it as well.
Aye. He's got to make things happen, not just gamble and run into the box and when you think it's coming in, you know. It's amazing how people look at you different. You get a tap-in bridge and you might not have done a lot, but you've had a good game. If you don't get a tap-in, you've had a bad game.
Absolutely. I think that, can we go back to the Asgard thing in midfield? Yeah. I think that Asgard, obviously, he needs to be playing. They can't now stop and turn the tap off. They've got to play him till he gets this half a dozen games under his belt, and you'll see a different player. I think that he said that Diamande. I thought Diamande gives away the ball too often, and I think also he loses his temper and he starts to take men out. You know, he got booked again, and he could have been easily sent off because he had about 3 or 4 poor tackles or 2 poor blocks. So he's got to watch what he's doing, because Rangers can't afford to lose a player of his quality during the game because of silliness. So he needs to get his game correct. But I think he's a smashing player out with his left foot, brilliant left foot. And you see he could make some nice passes, but he can also do some horrendous ones. And I mean bad, you know. His mind's on other things at times, you know. So he needs to get bottomed down. And of course, what can you say? You've got good players and you've got smashing players. And I think Diamonde is one of the smashing players, and Ashgard as well. And we'll need to see what happens with the rest.
What are you basing that on, Bridge? Diamonde? I mean, I think the piece this season has been atrocious.
I'm not saying he's not been. I've said that he's been pretty poor. He needs to get his game together, otherwise he's not going to get a game. He's a lovely passer of the ball in general, but some of his passing this season has been horrendous, and he's got himself into trouble by losing the ball and diving in, all this nonsense. And I don't know what he's doing. People just wonder what he's doing. But I think he's a smashing player. I'm going by what I see, that boy Ashgard, I think those two will be very good players for Rangers. Those two will be very good. I don't know if we'll get enough of their quality in the midfield to make 3 good midfielders. But I'm sure you'll come up with some other name that fits the bill for it. But I think they two should be played every week. And then gradually, if he sees they're not coming up to the mark, then we need to fade them out and bring other people in. But the manager's going to have to do the manager's job. I just don't think Diamonde is making himself very popular with the fans at times, simply because it's really stupid stuff. I don't think he's killing anybody, but he's making himself look daft, and he needs to stop it.
Yeah, I'll maybe say he's trying too hard at times. He's been very. But they 2 fouls he gave away in the first half, he's trying to dive in when the ball was his to win. He's just got to be common sense football outside, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aye, he runs, he puts a shift in usually. He's been poor up until we played Celtic, and that was his best game. He was full of heart and desire. He was running about, he was going into tackles, he was trying to go on the ball. And then against Hearts, he just went into his shell again. Had a couple of moments in the game where he chased back and won the ball. He's a good runner with the ball. He can take you up the park, but every time I watch him running with the ball when he's breaking up the park, he never looks like he's fully in control of it. He seems to, he seems to turn back, and then he's got to go, and then he's got to bring it round with his foot to go away again at times, and you're like, what are you doing? His passing, I agree, Bridge. Sometimes it's all right, but sometimes it's pretty poor and all. But last year, I thought in Europe he was really good for us, and he takes a lot of fouls and he gets us up apart. But this year in Europe, watching him, he hadn't been good at all. And Saturday again, like you say, he was all right. But you need more of him. You need him driving up the park with the ball, or not getting it forward to the players. But him and Raskin are the two that are should get about the park, break up play, try and go on the ball, and then you're trying to get to like Asgard, maybe even if Lyle Cameron can manage to get himself back into the team in the midfield. But we've got options to get him forward to other players to go and make things happen. So that's the way I see it. They two, at the moment, I see as the legs in the middle of your park. And if Asgard plays in there, he's the guy that can go on the ball, and hopefully we'll start to see him go and take players on or make that killer pass through to create chances for goals.
Yes, I agree with that 100%, pal. And yes, I agree with what you said about Diamonde. Last season, I thought he was a very good player for us. I think he's a very good player overall within himself, but for some reason, and it might be quite apparent to some folk, but it's not apparent to me, he's doing stupid things, or it turns out to be stupid things. And, I don't know whether there's some needle going on and he's taking a swipe at players. I don't know. He needs to stop it, whatever it is, and get concentrated back on his game, because I think he's a lovely player and a lovely left foot. I really do think, and a good shot on him.
If I was talking to Diamonde, mate, I would be telling him not to get caught in the right side.
A good shout there. Good shout.
Yeah, he's getting caught in the right side because of lack of concentration. Yeah, because he's not reading the game, and he's got to be so that he doesn't have to do that dive in, bring somebody down, get booked, and put yourself under pressure.
Yeah, 100%, pal, 100%. That's what I'm talking about. Stupid things. I mean, just stupid things. He's so busy doing nothing, or his head's away somewhere else, and all of a sudden he's in there, and an easy controlled ball, and it sits off his shins, and now it's a lunge. And and maybe sometimes too fitty to truth be told. But he's going to end up getting himself in a lot of trouble if he doesn't stop it. He needs to get back into his game and start playing nice football. He's got half decent players round about him now that can help. And rather than doing anything stupid, can easily pass the ball and find another Rangers player. Let's go on with it.
Yes, we'll see what it takes. I mean, look, nobody plays the perfect game of football, really. You know what I mean? You know, so I just small things, but sometimes it can influence you. When you're in that engine room, you get a booking. You know, it changes your whole mindset, Southside. You know.
Aye. Listen, we needed something to sort of gear us up on Saturday, and listen, we get the first 2 goals, and it probably gave a bit of confidence through the team-ups, and that's what we've been hoping. If it went the other way and they get that goal, things will change within the stadium as well, as we've seen during the game. So for a change, we got the first goal, although we've done it against Motherwell and things like the first game of the season, but we get the first goal at Ibrox, and we managed to get a second one. And I'll be honest, I thought, considering the performances we've put in, people out there might think it was a poor Hibs team. It might have been a poor Hibs team in some people's eyes, but at the end of the day, we won at Ibrox, where we haven't been playing very well in the past. We've not been playing too well, so we done a number on Hibs on Saturday, because I think they came confident. We kept a clean sheet, which we've not been too good at doing all season. And we get a 2-0 victory. So at the end of the day, it could have been more, but we finish up 2-0 and we're into a semi-final. So at the end of the day, mate, I can't complain.
Aye, right, okay. We'll now start turning our attention to the off-field stuff and the protest about the manager. Well publicised what was going to happen, Southside. There's people outside the ground. It's a busy part of the stadium normally at match days, yeah. The last sort of 45 minutes before kick-off, it's a meeting place, and there's obviously people getting into that stand, the main stand, the enclosure and the club deck, yeah, so it's a busy place, busy part of the stadium. So I don't know if you were there at that time to see anything that was going on, mate, because I know sometimes you get there a wee bit later on in the afternoon.
I wasn't doing anywhere near 4:30. I didn't get into the stadium till about 5:15, to be honest. I could certainly hear it on the way when I was getting closer to Ibrox. Listen, people are entitled to go and protest if they want. It's their prerogative. At the end of the day, I've seen protests. I didn't get into it. I walked through eventually because I was trying to meet somebody at the John Gregg statue. So I done that later on, and then probably by the time I left there, I just went in you can go in your section further down there as you know. So I just went in that end of the stadium. But listen, they protested outside. I think probably there might have been, I don't know, a couple of thousand possibly that was there, and they were certainly loud and vocal. So aye, if people went down and participated in it, and that's how they feel, then I've not got an issue with it, Ox, to be honest.
Aye, I mean, yeah. Listen, there's not a perfect time, you know, but finally a cup in the Hibs. I don't know if it's my bag, but I understand the sentiment, Bridge, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like what a great chance to get to the final of a cup. Obviously, we're going to play in our seriously enemies, if you follow what I mean. We're going to have to play them, and we have to do well. And I don't know when it is, maybe 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks from now or 4 weeks? We need to be on the top of our game.
2nd of November, mate.
2nd of November. So we've got a month, just over a month. Let's say 5-6 weeks. We've got to do it. If we're going to win it, we have to win it and win it well. And we've got a few games in between where we can win our games. If we're at Ibrox, we'll should have been happier, and we need to go and do them. If we can win the next game, it's going to boost our confidence greatly, and then we know what we're going to do. As I always say, clean sheets. Clean sheets is fantastic for a goalkeeper and defenders. Clean sheets, wonderful. That's what they look for.
Aye.
And if they can, sorry.
No, can I just comment on something, Southside?
Aye, on you go.
Just the farce that is Scottish football again, right? Now, the chances on the League Cup of the European participants coming in later on, and the way it's loaded for the, if you like, it's pretty much near enough seeded so that, if you like, the big boys get through most of the time. Yeah. So the chances are that the semi-finalists are going to be Premier League sides. And so you could have 4 of the ties influenced by the 4 league games potentially could not take place on that weekend. Where's the foresight, the planning to make that the League Cup should have been played last Wednesday, mate. The week after Hearts. The League Cup ties should be played then. There should have been a game now, and then the League Cup should be standalone as the semi-finals to make them the thingy and get the fixtures right. We are then now going to get a home game against Aberdeen postponed, but it looks as if potentially, and I've not checked this out, it looks as if we could play Aberdeen twice in a week in January. If the weather's bad, if something else mysteriously happens, the fixtures just get crazy. The team's still be in Europe longer. It's just a lack of planning, lack of foresight, and lack of thought for the fans. People would have booked hotels, etc., when their fixtures come out for a home game against Aberdeen, and lo and behold, you get a game that can be in a different day. You might not get a ticket for it. But that's another subject maybe for after the tune. And it's just ridiculous, Southside. They can't plan a pee up in a brewery.
Fans are never took into consideration, are they? To be perfectly honest, we're just tell when we have to turn up and what time the kick-off's going to be. Is there no chance I know they say they leave some free midweek, so there's no a chance they could fit that Aberdeen game in a midweek then? Or is the fixtures that full? Because I'm thinking with these stupid World Cup qualifiers and that one.
There's too many international breaks, mate.
Aye. Well, obviously, foresight's not a thing that they're blessed to be up there, is it? Up at the SFA. So no, it's just the chaos that we're going to expect, Ox, and what you get. I hate that when you play the same team twice in two weeks running. You get them in the cup and then you play them in the league or whatever. No, it does my head in. But if that's the way it's going to be, then it'll be what it'll be. Just have to make sure we win the two of them.
And I'm glad you mentioned kick-off times. No, I'm not saying there was the people not turning up for various reasons, but that 5:45 kick-off time is ridiculous. We seem to have these late Saturday ones a wee bit more than most teams Southside before Bridge chips in. It's the revenue clubs are making for the petty TV deal. They're losing it, mate, because of the crazy kick-off times.
Aye, Saturday 5:45 isn't the ideal at all, is it? A lot of people, before even that game's been, they've announced a kick-off, people have made plans and stuff. Might be going out that night or whatever. And suddenly there's a game flung in at 5:45. And sometimes you might have to rearrange their plans to go to the game. But no, we seem to be on the receiving end of the game at the moment. But I think the 12 o'clock kick-off games are finished now and all, aren't they? So we all moaned about them, but then they were hitting us away 5:45 in a cup tie, which is no ideal at all, especially on Saturday, mate. It wasn't good.
Yes, right, we'll bring a Bridge in right after we have a tune. Is that all right with you, Bridge?
Aye, cool. I think.
Right, so get yourself your mute, lads. We're going to have a tune.
As we go marching down the Paisley Road, the west, the doors and the windows open wide. You will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. As we go marching down the Paisley Road West, the doors and the windows open wide, you will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Listen, I don't think the conversation with the manager's gone away. If I'm honest, outside one performance, I don't think Eddie's been kidded.
No.
You know.
No. But we can only critique what we watched, and that game was Saturday. And a lot probably thought nothing would really change and stuff. And listen, we got a win. And that's what matters to me. I want Rangers to win like everybody else. So we got the win. Performance could have been better, as we've said. Beating the game, we could have had a higher score line to finish it. But we never. And the game finished 2-0, and I thought, like I said earlier, I thought we won it comfortably, to be honest, Tops.
Aye. Gasserman, that would be a good goal.
Aye, it certainly would have been. It was a good shot. The one you talk about when he cut inside, cut across and smashed it off the bar. Aye, it would have been. You've seen he likes that sort of thing. He's scored a couple of times from it early season in Europe. And I thought Ant-Man was unlucky as well. It was a good bit of skill for him. Aye, you could see what he was trying to do. Also, that was the thing. You could see what he tried to do. He was just unlucky.
He done the hard bit,
Aye, he did do the hardest bit, and once he got into that position, if he'd just been a bit more clinical with steering it into the bottom corner. But aye, and I think as he progresses as well, I think you've seen that wee flash for him on Saturday, and I think he's got that in his locker. And I think Hill's another one who should probably grow into the team and develop and be a good player in time.
Is he in front of Moore for you?
Aye, he would be, to be honest, because we've signed him. He's your player, and we're looking for. He's had a good assist rate before he came here, and I think he's got a goal or two in his locker. He's certainly got a bit of skill, as he showed us there. What we can expect, and I think 1-on-1 with a defender, he's got good pace, and that's the way we've got to try and get our two wingers, Gassman and him, on the. Getting them the ball in a good position when they've only got one defender to go by.
Aye. Gasserman is definitely an entertainer, Bridget. Did you see the wee back heel turning the second half? All right, he never come off, but he still tried it.
I think he's the most tricky player we've got. I know I'm not saying he's the best player on our team, but I think he's very close to it. at the moment. I think he's just behind Raskin, but I think he's a really clever player, and he's got all the good, nice footwork that you used to see with the Tanner Ball players, you know. I'm speaking about yourself there, Oxtear, when you were younger.
Of course, mate.
Yeah,
of course.
But I mean, really and truly, he's a delight to watch, and he brings other people into it. And if he gets into that box, they better watch out, because he can take the players on and swerve past them and all the rest of it. He's got that. I also think that on the right-hand side, the Ant-Man came on, and what a difference he made when he came on. It's his direct play, running into the box, which always panics defenders if somebody can get in the box, because if you touch them, you know that you're peril. So I think he had a smashing game when he came on, young lad. I think we should be playing these players who are good. Now, no offence to the young boy Moore, no offence to him, but he needs to be able to do it. And we saw that Ant-Man could do it. He's done it before, and he's done it again at the weekend. I thought he had a fine performance for a young lad, and we need to get him on the park and playing football. So you've got a right winger and a left winger, and you've got a smashing centre forward. We should be able to make it work.
Well, playing people in the right position, Southside, it'll never catch on, will
it? Well, we need to start making sure that we do, and the team need to start trying to kick on for here. Next game's a European game, so I'd imagine the players we've talked about just in the last hour or so, but most of them will all start on Thursday. We need to get a nucleus of our squad together that are going to start most games, so they can start to form partnerships with each other, know what each other's might be doing on and off the ball. It helps, and try and find a settled sort of team or a settled 9 players that you're going to start with, and you can always change 1 or 2 about. But midfield's crucial, so if Nico Raskin going forward is part of that, doing good. He seems to had a big influence in the game on Saturday, played well, and we're looking for him to carry that performance on. Same with Gasman, same with Asgard. Ant-Man, if he gets a start this time, where he might, we'll see. But it's players that Ant-Man and Gasman, 2 quick players that have got good levels of ability, and they just need to just keep letting them run at defenders and build the team and give them the confidence, and hopefully they'll start adding on to the goals trail as well, because they should be as first team Rangers wingers, at least getting 8 to 10 goals a season between them, or each a season. You wouldn't expect to get about 8 goals after them anyway, and with a good few assists. So Gasman started well, and he's no managed it since to find the back of the net since he had that wee purple patch. But going forward, Docs, I think they're going to produce. It's just a bit of team settling down and getting a bit of confidence.
Aye. Listen, mate, I think you're right. You get your numbers up, you get goals, you get assists. People look at your game, and you might put on the same performance, and they say, "Oh, he's rubbish." You score a goal, doesn't matter if it's a tap in, you assist a goal. People look at your performance differently. It's mad, Bridgeman, isn't it?
Oh,
Same as a defender all day. Great work, marks somebody out the game, makes one small error. I didn't have a good game, but apart from that moment, he had a good game, yeah.
Absolutely right, pal. Absolutely right. No, I think that I get excited when we're talking about good players, and I get excited when we're talking about players who do everything properly, and then all of a sudden one wee mistake or a wee bad pass or whatever, and gone. The players have gone past you, and somehow or other they conjure up a chance, and that's hang down your head, Tom Daly stuff, So we need to everybody in the team needs to watch what we're doing, and see when we're talking about the 2 wingers and the centre forward. I believe that need to be, as we go up, we need to have people in there that are fearless when they're making the passes to bring these people in, and also when they've got to follow up, because if anything happens to one of our players, they're going to the way these ruffians go, the ones that are in our league, they'll trample all over them. They'll bring them down and then fall on top of him. All that nonsense. So we need somebody in there to back that boy up and shove everybody out of the way. If he's lying down, just shove him out of the way so they don't come away with any nonsense. That's what we've got to do, because that's good players there. You watch good teams now, top Europeans, and you get 5 or 6 players out, when a player's brought down, 5 or 6 players over at the ref and over at the opposition, shoving them out of the way. That's what we need to do. We need to do it. And the same as our captain, Tav, for instance, Tav should be aware of everything that's going on, and he should be in that referee's ear every second he can. If anything happens in part with Rangers, a free kick against us or whatever, and it's a bit dodgy, he should be straight in there talking to the referee. You watch that mob across the city, they do it all the time.
I think that's one of the things that's changed Southside with this. It looks as if eventually it'll be common practice. There's only one person in the team can talk to the referee. And because of the way the game's played, you're not going to have a forward or a defender. It will be midfield players that will chose to do that because they're closer to play for most of the game. If you're Harry Kane standing up front, you're maybe not seen. And Tav can be put, he can be, if there's a ball gets played up apart, Tav can be 80 yards away for the play. It's changed the game a wee bit, and I get the sense that Bridgman's saying about somebody in there should be in the eye of the storm, and that's usually midfielders.
Usually, because they're the ones that are usually your captains most of the time, can be a midfielder, or sometimes you go for centre backs. I know Harry Kane's a striker, as I say that, but strikers don't generally always be captains, let's be honest, do they? Sometimes a ref might let a player say something regarding it, but the rules. I think if they talk out a turn or that, they can get booked. But I agree with you. Tav certainly gave McLean it last week regarding the goal, and he ended up getting booked, Bridge, for complaining to the ref about it, and he's meant allowed to talk to the ref. They were certainly gabbing for quite a bit, and I was quite happy that Tav was giving him it anyway, because he deserved it. But it's something that probably midfielders, Diamandi, Raskin, the two that spring to mind, it should probably be in the referee's ear if possible at certain times in the game. Other teams do it, see it happening, but I agree. Generally, they're just trying to stamp it into the game that captains are only allowed to talk to the referee in it.
No, sorry.
Yes, Bridge.
I was just going to say, I like to see the captain talking to the referee, and not just when there's an incident, but when he's near him, he has a word with him, and so on and so forth, because that you build that relationship with the referee, so that when something does happen and you're in there talking to him, and he's, it's all brilliant, because you can talk. You don't need to like him, but if you talk to him during a game, bring yourself in front of him, and without doing anything, but when you do something insofar as support your players, they'll listen to you a lot better. And you get no better example of that than that boy that is captain of Celtic now. And I'm not being funny. You watch him, and he's always with the referee, always.
It doesn't have to be. I mean, that's good.
No, of course, you can say that as well. You caught me out with that one.
Full selection. Look, come and gauge your thoughts. 0141 356 1972. Was it to any pressure of the manager? I don't think so. If I'm honest, Southside, it should be one game.
No, it hasn't. It's no certainly going to take the pressure off them. But the only thing I see is they've managed to get a win, get into the semi-final of a cup, which is a few weeks down the road. And the next game's the next game. It's a European game. And then obviously we go to Livingston. And that's where you've got to make sure you pick up the 3 points at Livingston on that new artificial pitch that they've installed. So this is what's in front of you, and this is what's got to be done. European game, they're not doing too well in the league themselves, like we're sitting at the moment. But it's a game I think we should be winning. And if we can get that over the hurdle and get 3 points on the board in the European game and then take 3 at Livingston, it's not going to take the pressure off them, but it's giving the team a bit of momentum, Ox.
I think the pressure's game for the two of the home games, not so much against them, but we beat Hearts, we beat Dundee. The season starts so much differently. You know, and that's where the pressures came from for me. Throw in the Bruges result away. You know, I see they got a decent result again during the week there. I think they beat Monaco 4-1 Southside. We all know I'm not saying they're going to win the Champions League, but they're not a bad side.
No, they usually do quite well in it. And it was a good result against Monaco. We shouldn't have been on the receiving end yet. I'm thinking we shouldn't have been, but on the night, we went down to 10 men. And they're a good passing side, and they were clinical on the night as much as we let them get in front and get into their positions. But they dispatched Monaco 4-1. So, end of the day, we're playing against Genk in it, Genk. And we'll just have to make sure that we can win at Ibrox. Ibrox is usually good on a Thursday night. I don't know what it'll be like this Thursday, because I do believe that Rangers Football Club overpriced all the supporters to go to the game for what they're charging us. But that aside, Ibrox on a Thursday night has usually been good, and it's been rocking. So we'll see what it brings in Thursday. I'd like to hope that it will start that way anyway, and if a team can get a goal or two, then hopefully it'll get a better feel-good factor, whether there's banners goes up or there's an odd protest or no, that'll be up to the supporters. But at the end of the day, we all wanted to get the 3 points and get the European campaign after a good start.
Aye, good. 3 points is 3 points, mate. It takes a big call when you need to get to qualify if you can win the first game, Bridger.
Absolutely. You look at our season and now, you just mentioned it. If you win your first game, then the spring in the step, like you know what I mean. If you win your second game and no lose any goals, but win most importantly, then you're getting better. And each step you take, you got a bit better spring in it. You know, we so badly start a bad start to the season for us, particularly in the league. Just bad, and if we don't do that, and we don't get it sorted, then woe betide us. Here we're sitting some 10th in the league or something like that, 10th or 11th, whatever it is. Just shocking for all the fans. So we need to do some. Well, let's hope the team can do it. But up to now, what I've seen, and I've been the biggest complainant of everything up to now. But at the weekend there, I was very happy. A 2-0 win was a superb win for us. Superb win. Could have been a lot more.
Aye. We're only critiquing Saturday's games, so we're not critiquing the season.
No, we're no. Listen, there's always going to be pressure at Rangers, and in a lot of people's eyes, it doesn't matter what he does. He's they want him out the door. And as I said, I still think. I said it on here before when I came on last week. I think it was just a matter of time. But at the moment, we got a victory. We put Hibs out the cup, where a lot of people probably thought we wouldn't. We got a wee bit of a better performance. We keep a clean sheet and we score 2 goals. And we've seen wee patches of playing some players. Listen, Asgard and Gasman look like they're decent players. Whether he's the manager or no in time, it shouldn't matter. They look like decent players. Asgard looks like he'll develop and become a good player. So we've got 3 players there that have just come in the door that I expect in time will really do well at the club. It'll no matter who the manager is. I still think they 3 will do well at the club box.
Anyway, we've enjoyed being Josh. Evening, Josh.
Good evening, boys. Are you all right? Hope you're well.
Aye,
good, mate.
Yourself, mate.
Hi, George.
How we doing, Bridge? I'm okay, thank you. Hope you're well yourself.
Good man. What's on your mind, Josh?
No, I'm just happy that we give the performance that we got on Saturday. I think the Hibs support and everybody in Scotland thought we were going to get turned over. So I'm happy for the manager in that aspect and the performances with Raskin, Asgard. It's a bit disappointed with Diamondi because he's one of my favourite players, but he needs to cut out this pettiness and just focus on playing football because he was outstanding for us in some matches like last year in Europe and in the league, and his best performance was Celtic, because he was digging in. See, if he had that attitude every week, nobody would have a word to say about him. So I just need to hope that he gets the blinkers on and just does what he does best on his day, and plays for the team and stop these silly yellow cards, because they add up, and you can get a ban for it as well. So you don't want a player who has class, and he is a class player on his day. One of the best in their team, along with Raskin and Asgard. And I'm really happy.
I take away the Celtic game. When was the last time you had a good game, mate?
Well, last season, and that's why I'm disappointed. Last season, he's no kicked a ball this season, apart from the Celtic game, and that's the petulance and the pettiness for him. I think he goes away off the track sometimes. I don't know what's going through his head. I think he needs to go and see some kind of, or talk to somebody, a specialist at the club, and because he must acknowledge that himself, that he's no on it and stuff, and he seems to be getting involved in other people's affairs on the pitch when he should just stay away, because that gives him stupid yellow cards as well. He needs to stop all that and just concentrate on playing football like most of the support think he can. And I really like him. I've always praised him when I've been on here. But as I says, it's dumbfounding, and I'm struggling how he's only turned up for the Celtic game. But hopefully,
he's not a good season, mate. Look, it happens. I don't know, sometimes it can be confidence Southside, or players he's playing way. It can be a lot of things, but he hasn't been great this season.
No, he's no. Josh, probably a couple of games where they played him on the right side of midfield didn't suit him. And he had a good game, like you said, against Celtic at Ibrox, where he put in a lot of heart and endeavour. See, against Hearts last week, with Conor Barron and Asgard on the park, he was hiding. As soon as Hearts scored, he went hiding in that midfield, and that really annoyed us, because we've watched players do it. We've watched hundreds of players do it over the past, and he done it against Hearts. He was standing in amongst players then again he went and he won a ball, and he had a challenge for it and that. Then he went hiding again. He had to go and stand up and be counted. He's one of their most experienced players at the club. He's been in enough times. So against Hearts, I looked at on the park at times, and he just wasn't shown for the ball at all. He just went in and stood in that midfield and didn't bother. But we need more out of him. I think he's got a bit about him. I think he does get himself involved, but I think he stands up for himself at points in games where I've watched him square up with players and stuff, so he doesn't back down. But at the same time, he's been really rotten since the start of the season kicked off. Last year, I agree, he was good. He was really good in Europe, and I think we missed him when he got the 2 suspensions. I think we missed him down at Old Trafford against Man United. So he took 2 suspensions in Europe that season. When he does well for us normally in Europe, he does well. But this season he hadn't showed up. But should he get chances, then he needs to try and go on the score sheet a bit more as well. He needs to get a bit more forward. But we played like a 4-2-3-1 on Saturday, so he was more of the holding player in beside Nico Raskin. And I think it's just about forming partnerships, and we need to, if they two are going to be playing the new well, Rothwell's out until he has to fight in the team, or Lyle Cameron or a Conor Barron, then they three need to try and gel together. Raskin, Diamande and Asgard, we need to try and keep them and get them function as a unit, I think, Josh.
I think Southside, I think if we go Asgard, Diamande and Raskin playing together in sync, I think we would have an outstanding midfield, because the three of them potentially are solid players, but it seems to be Diamande's letting the side down. Raskin, that's due to the managers and his conflict off the pitch. And as for Asgard, I think he's becoming one of our most important players, along with Raskin at the top of the pitch. But I want to ask you, Bridge and Ox, do you think in this European tie, do you think we should keep the same team so that we're familiarising the players with each other, and it's the only way we're going to get stability and try and win games instead of putting in false performances?
That's a good
and that's
shout.
to anybody that wants to.
No, that's a good shout, Josh. I think that I always think Rangers should play their best team, but managers and coaches have got a different idea. So we're playing a European tie, and it's a home game. So whether in fact we go similar to what we did at the weekend or a more attacking formation is purely up to the manager. I would play the same team. I would play the team that we had halfway through the second half. That's what I would play, because that was our best. For me, that was our best part of the game. We were really good players, gelling together, looking good, making chances. That's what I thought. And that's not to say the first half rather, was terrible. I thought we were pretty bad in the start up of the game, but we got there and we scored 2 goals in the first half. So you can't take too much away from them on that. We've got to play with the same team. That's what I say. If we play with the same team, we were playing really good football, and we were patterned forward and making chances or trying to create chances. For me,
it's a no for me, Josh. I wouldn't keep the same team. Do you want the answer why?
Yes, please.
Mikey Moore at this moment in time when they've been my starting 11.
I think he's still to develop, Ox. I think he came with a big reputation as a young lad for Tottenham, and I think Tottenham have gave us him on the instance that he plays most games, because they want him to mature, and I think it's in his contract. As you know, going back to Tottenham eventually.
If you can't get dropped because you're not performing, mate, somebody have to have a look at themselves. You've got to get in the Rangers first team on merit and ability.
Personally, I prefer Curtis, because he's got us out of jail. The guy's the young boy. I know he's young. He's still to mature, but when he comes on, he's never let us down. He saved our bacon with that wonder goal at Love Street at St Mirren when we were in trouble, and he keeps on making performances. Out of the two, I would probably send Moore back to Tottenham and concentrate on Curtis, but that's only my opinion. But Southside, would you?
I'm not saying that Mikey Moore will not come. I don't see it at the moment, but he's not the first one to take a few months to sell. On form, just on form, I don't think he should be in the first team. And I think the team will be pretty close to the same starting 11, personally, but I would take him out. Southside?
I would take him out just on the position where he was playing yesterday and Saturday. I would play Ant-Man in Europe, and I would probably keep the team the same on Thursday night. As Finlay Curtis goes, as I said earlier, I'd like to see him get a bit more game time, and I'd like he'd be my first choice probably. Understand we've got a loan deal with Tottenham. Don't know the ins and outs yet, but there will be a percentage where he sort of plays. But in saying that, the boy at Wolves might be the same, and he's out the team, so you don't know. Mikey Moore's a good, talented player, and it wouldn't surprise me, right, if he kept the same team and kept Moore in that position. Maybe to see if he'll be better, have a better impact in the game. But me personally, Josh, I would play Ant-Man in there. I hope that he's got more pace, and he's a creator. He's got a bit of skill as he showed on Saturday, and I'd like to see him play that position on the right.
I agree with you, Southside. I think Ant-Man's the kind of forward-thinking player that puts a fear of God into defenders, because he goes only one way, and that's to the byline or cuts it across for the strikers, and he always makes chances. So I would agree with you there. But I'm not a fan of the young boy Moore. I think in his contract, I'm sure I read somewhere on the Rangers website that we've got him on the instance that he gets game time. I think it's 46 or 48.
The official Rangers website, you read that, Josh?
Aye, that he go.
I don't think you read that on the official. I don't think you read that on the official Rangers website.
I think I did.
That out, mate.
I think I did, because they say he came with a big reputation with Ange Postecoglou or something like that when he was a manager, and Ange Postecoglou gave him the go ahead, because Big Ange says that he'll do well in his game. His game will come on a bundle in the Scottish game because it's faster and it'll make him more focused and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't just say that if I never seen it.
In the official Rangers website, you've seen that, Josh?
In one of the pages, I did.
On the official Rangers website, I'll say it again, mate. I'm trying to get you. You might have read it online, but you didn't see it on the official Rangers website. That Mikey Moore's played so many games.
It was 46 or 48% of the games he was to play, and that's the reason why he's came here. He's not came here to sit on the bench.
No chance that was on the official site, mate. No chance. Might have been online, mate. But because it's online, doesn't mean it's true. It does it Southside.
No, it doesn't. Listen, I think he'll play games, right? But and I agree to come up and we're going to try and develop him. You'll be playing in the environment where you're meant to be having a team that wins every week, and you get the physicality up here of the league, and he'll go back down the road. And listen, a lot of players have come up on loan and said it benefited them and all that, and became a better player. Giovanni mentioned it when he was here. We mentioned it, Arteta when he was here. So, and it's how. And listen, if he's good enough and he's putting in performances, he'll get games. But if he's no, then I'd expect him to boot the team. And you asked a question, and I'll give you my answer. In my opinion, I think Ant-Man could easily start on Thursday. In my opinion, I think it'd be a better bet. But I could see why if Russell Martin sticks by the 11 that he picked on Saturday, and Mikey Moore might play still in that position. So either or, mate, but it's only about opinions in it. And but I think for a positive aspect, a bit more pace and directness, I think Ant-Man, for me, I would like to start. But like I say, it'll be the manager's decision, mate. As long as we get the victory, it doesn't matter who starts, does it really?
I think Ant-Man, that based on what I saw on Saturday, I think Ant-Man deserved the game in the midweek, the European game, more than Moore.
Right.
Moore's going to be a fine player if he gets himself sorted out. But we know, as they keep calling, he's just a youngster, you know. Well, he is just a youngster, but he does play, and he gets his chance.
He's only just turned 18.
I'm saying that he's a youngster, but he does.
Cut across your bridge. We'll be joined by Bob Chair.
Right, okay.
Good evening, lads. How are we doing?
All right.
All right, Ox.
Right,
nice to hear your dulcet tone again. I'm doing all right. I've just been away up the Myatt there, you know, the Twin Peaks area, and I went down for a bit duking the fourth there before I brought the dog back up the fourth.
All right.
Got me, man.
That fresh water swimming, Bob Chair, have you?
Oh, for God's sake, you have no idea. That wild swimming. And nothing makes me cold. The only thing that was cold was my ex-wife's hair. So there you go. Yeah, well, I don't know. It seemed to make a difference to the Jers on Saturday. I thought they played quite well. Could have scored more, but they got the job done. And I was quite happy with the performance. And I think, let's hope we can all improve and get better and start running games and getting back to normality. After the sort of a hell we've been through with it all. and it has been hell.
I know where you live, Bob. And,
Aye.
There's a few hibbies there. They must have thought they just had to turn up.
Well, I was arguing with one at the shop last week. And he was spouting his absolute hatred for Rangers. I used to work beside the guy, and I know that for a fact what he thinks of the Rangers. And I was arguing with him, and one of the you-know-who's joined in the debate, so I had my back to the wall sort of thing, but I held my own as usual with the two of them.
I'm sure.
So, they hibbies they're no any better. I cry them the half-boiled. But they thought they were a certainty to come there for a victory on Saturday. Where the goings on with us, but nah, I'm afraid no, they were proved wrong. I know I've heard
What's
news
your
I'm
take
going
on?
Yep,
What's
carry
your
on.
take, Bob, Jen, on the club at the moment, mate? I've not heard for you. On
the club?
Aye, what's your take? The manager, the team?
That was a good result on Saturday, as I say, but it was getting to be a bit of a shambles, wasn't it? The supporters, just saw the general things that went along with it. And I didn't like the fact that people standing at the door at Edmondson Drive shouting what they were shouting. To me, that brings us down. We're Rangers fans, and I want us to get behind the team and start getting results. We know the depth of feeling. We can what we are. We're a huge club. We're a huge support. And you've got to exercise your right to protest. But I would like you to think they would have done it in a wee bit of a more civilised manner. So I'm maybe being overcritical. I don't know.
Okay, I think we're being called by a new call. Jim. Evening, Jim.
Evening. How you doing,
How
lads?
you doing,
Bob,
Jim,
Josh.
Yep.
Southside and Bridgeman. I'm just Pop Monty. I'd like to congratulate Russell Martin and his squad and his coaches for the victory on Saturday.
Is there a butt here, Jim?
No, not at all. No. No,
I was waiting for a butt there. Sorry, mate.
No, I've backed the manager for he came. After 5 games, what I've heard is unbelievable. And no, it was very pleasing. I think it was Saturday. Listen to Olbear. Every word they said, and I says, absolutely fantastic. I was smiling to myself, listening to every word they said. Couldn't believe it. Fantastic.
You've got to remember that Olbear's on some heavy meds, Jim.
Well, according to a lot of people, so was I last week.
Southside.
Everybody's on meds now, Jim, innit? Listen, see, at the end of the day, I went to Ibrox. I wanted to see a win, right? And I was happy when I left the stadium, right? So at the end of the day, we all support the one cause. Whether people like the manager, whether they don't, the common denominator is it should always be Rangers to win on a Saturday or whatever day we play. So I wanted to see something different, and I noticed there was a wee bit of fluency in the play at times, and I thought we beat Hibs comfortably, Jim, on Saturday. I didn't think at any point, well, obviously until the goal got disallowed, which because I was thinking, right, we need a reaction here, but it was correctly given as a on ball. And after that, once we got the first goal and we got a second quite quickly after it was game over for me. It was just a matter of could we go out and I'd take in the second half. Team needed confidence. We needed a lift. A lot of people probably went. The protests were there, as we've seen throughout the game. And rightly so, if people feel like that. But at the end of the day, it's about Rangers winning, and we need to get confidence going throughout the squad. We need to try and get a settled team on the park, as we've been talking about tonight. Get a midfield settled, and if they three, Asgard, Raskin and Diamondi, start, then it's down to them to make sure that they perform, and that will help the team. We've got 2 good wingers, or 3 even. We've got 3 by Finlay Curtis when he comes on. He's been an impact player. But Ant-Man and Gasman, I'm hoping that they'll develop and start firing shortly and get a bit more confidence if we can get a victory on Thursday night at Ibrox in the European tie and then take it on to Livingston. Whatever we think of the manager, it's about Rangers winning, mate, for me. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Hopefully in the next 2 games we get 2 wins, Jim.
Oh, definitely. And you said it yourself there. He went in a run, I think it was 24 unbeaten in the championship. And all he needs is a wee bit of luck. I mean, what he's come through. I know he said his daughter was in the hospital and people were saying he was looking for sympathy. Anybody that's had a kid in hospital is not looking for sympathy. You know, and people that were saying that, obviously they've not had kids in hospital because you're ill. You know what I mean? You couldn't go to your work and do your work. That's my opinion. But I just think he'll turn it round. I've always backed him, and I guarantee he'll turn it round. I stayed at the wee boy Moore the other day, and I said he's too young, no enough. And I thought the boy done a lot better on Saturday for what he's done.
He kept the ball better than he passed it, mate. He's no off on the lot, mate.
No, but
he's learning his trade. He's learning his trade, mate. And I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't know about you. I don't know if people should be learning their trade in the Rangers first team. Just my opinion, yeah. We want tradesmen. No boys learning their trade.
No, I know. And if it is an apprentice, as you say, it should be Finlay Curtis for me. I like the boy. He's got something. You know, but I think this guy will turn it around. I'm sure I'm positive he will. He just needs a bit of luck. And then on Saturday, I said to myself, there you go, that's the start of it, Russell. Come on, son. You know, and maybe everybody will laugh.
I hope you're right and we're all wrong, mate. I really do, but even on Saturday, mate, I don't know.
Aye, well, you'll do it. I think he'll turn it around, I'll be honest.
I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right, but it's going to be difficult for him, you know. Bridgeman. Bridge. Oh, I think he must have fell off his seat. Josh, you can come back in, mate. And you go, Josh, boy.
I think regarding the manager, I love the optimism and I love the positivity. But I think it's very hard for me to accept the performances, and that's why the guys and their fellow support are protesting and lambasting him. Are they justifiably so rightly to do it? I think they are, and everybody's got a right to protest because they put their money in and go and see the Rangers every week, home and away, and the performances haven't been acceptable. Was he the number one choice of manager when he got appointed? I think most days didn't want him in the first place. I think we had eyes on other managers, but it is what it is now. Do I think he'll last? I don't think so. I think is this a flash in the pan Saturday? I hope not, but I'd rather us win on next Sunday against Livingston and start getting 3 points and a good performances and start beating these teams that we're supposed to beat, and not just concentrate on Celtic, who I think are the worst, and I've said this hundreds of times, that are the worst Celtic team I've seen in years. And still,
Can I just ask we'll get 3 on phones on the call with when you're not talking, can you put your phones on mute? Because we're getting feedback. You don't hear it, but everybody else does. So if you're not talking, just put yourself on mute. I think we've lost Bridgeman south side, but listen, I really admire Jim for he's looking at it from a different angle, because it's difficult to look at things differently. I hope he's right. At this moment in time, I can't see it, but I hope he's right.
See, the thing is, right, see if you just look at 5 league games, Ox, and we've got a protest where we want to get rid of a manager. You know, that's where we've got to. 5 games into a league season, and everybody's screaming for his head. Whether you want him or no, in the start that we had, I agree. I don't think unless he can. I said to Jim, unless he does something like he did at Newcastle in the Championship and suddenly we start to win games. If we'd started well in the league, what I'll say is if we'd started well in the league and won our first 3 games, say, right, Hearts had come and beat us, right, for talking sake. Well, see, after European games, in many years I've watched Rangers, we've dropped points after a European game. But when we come back and we played them and we got a decent result. But at the end of the day, we've dropped points during the season in certain times. And I think probably the Bruges game, as much as that we'd got to doing, if we'd started well in the league, me as a supporter would have probably overlooked that result. But you can't, because week in, week out, we didn't see any improvement. There was no structure of the team. And we need to get a settled 11 on the park, and that's what he needs to do. So we only critique Saturday. We've put Hibs out the cup, we're in a semi-final. So, but I still think the protests were a bit early. In my opinion, after 5 league games into the season, I thought it was a bit early. But I still agree, if people feel the way that you're explaining, Josh, as you explained it, people pay their money, we go every week. It's costing us £44 up to 50 quid or whatever it'll be for some other people to go to the European game on a Thursday night. Your season book's dear. But at the end of the day, it was five league games. It is a bad start, and it's down to him to get a decent team on the park. So I think there's decent players there. They need to get confidence. We need to be winning games. So, but I still think you'll go in the end. I think we'll not go on this winning run for a long time, and there'll be a couple of bumps in the road probably, and that'll be enough maybe to tip more supporters in that favour. But the board look like they're standing by him in Hawks, and that's what they're more or less said.
Anyway, we've been joined by Smurf. Evening, Smurf.
Evening, Ox. Evening, Southside. Evening, all. Excuse the sore throat. I've just been listening, and I've got 2 points and a question. First point is, I don't think we should be paying Tottenham for the privilege of developing their youth player. Finlay Curtis is a similar age, now on raw technical ability. Apparently this boy thinks he's going to be one of the best players in the world. I've yet to see, he's flattered to deceive. I don't think he's aggressive enough, etc., etc. And ultimately, if you develop your own player, you sell him for a profit, there's maybe a sell-on clause included in that. You reinvest that money, you buy another player, you develop him, you send them on. The second, third and fourth order effects of that, especially with FFP, are monumental. So we should not be wasting valuable resources. With that in mind, we've got, originally it was 2/3 of defence, now sat on a bench. Or half a defence, it sat on the bench, it was in on loan. No up to miles off it. And the club's a basket case. It's an unmitigated disaster for the get-go, the recruitment of it. Now, they'll get it right. Cavana and the 49ers are going to get this right. But they've underestimated the league. I heard Jim saying earlier it's faster than the English Premier League. It's nowhere near as fast as the English Premier League. The players in your league don't even think as fast as players in the English Premier League. The point is, it's more physical. The pitches are crap. The conditions are rubbish. It's hard. It's sapping. Everybody's on top of you. The country's fanatical about it, football. And it's a hard and tough environment to come into. They've underestimated it. And I've got a question now is to Jim. I know you're supporting him and you want the manager to do well. I don't like the guy. But I don't care. You could put Satan in charge of Rangers as long as we win. I don't care, right? But the point is this. The unmitigated disaster that he's presided over, right? Has he ever once come out and said, that's on me, that's my fault, and protected his players?
All right, I'll pass that over to Jim. Jim, right to reply. Yeah, obviously, Smurf come in with a difference of opinion. Yeah.
Hi, Smurf. No, well, what I've got to say is it's the players have let him do. It's no him, it's let the players do. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? I think the guy, I've seen things in the league games I've watched. I've seen things during the game. We've known the results, and to me, we've been unlucky with decisions with bars and linesmen, referees, it's all right. But I think the guy will definitely turn it around, and I think it's down to the players in the park. He can only set them up in training. This is how I want you to play. Right, lads, on you go. Do you know what I noticed on Saturday too? You'll probably all noticed that. See, when we scored that goal and the crowd got behind the team, they started to go for it. You know, and I says, this is what we want. Then they get the second one and the crowd was up for it. They weren't booing and shouting this and that. Because when that happened, I could see the strain on the players' faces. They didn't want the ball. It was, so don't get to me. And, you know, and I think Hibs are a far better team than Hearts. And I think they'll finish above Hearts. That was a decent result. And they're a decent side.
Aye. So, Jim, going back to my question, have you ever heard them come out taking ownership and saying that's on me, I go to Rang? Because you've no answered it.
No,
you haven't. No. And the thing is, it's not always the players. No, every player can be Rang. Nobody likes him. He's no liked in the dressing room. I know that for a fact. He's no liked. He's arrogant and nobody likes him.
Walter coming out doing it either. You know what I mean? I've never heard Sir Walter coming out and saying, oh, that was on me there.
Walter, to be fair, usually won the league, Jim. The point is, the guy's new in the club. He came out the other day and says he doesn't care about being owned before in the club. He doesn't care about the past. I'm 54 years of age. I went to Ibrox for the first time when I was 4, half a century ago. And the past and our history is every bit as important to me as our future. The guy's no got a clue.
You can't influence the past, you can only influence the future, mate.
That's true. I get the premise of the point, but at the end of the day, I don't really think he's in the right movie. This isn't Southampton. This isn't Swansea or wherever he was.
I don't have the same, if you like, negativity around the guy. It doesn't look a good fit, Southside. That's been my point for a while. I've got problems with football I've watched.
Aye, well, it's not when you have doubts and you're saying it's not a good fit, right? Well, that's obviously because you look at back the results, and the results haven't been there. But listen, we've been swapping the team about umpteen times, but I agree. I said on here last week, I couldn't see anything really week to week, and what we've been getting better at, what we're good at, are things developing on the park that we're doing repetitive, apart from leaking goals, as I said. But just looking at Saturday, as we were critiquing the game, it looked a bit better. There was a wee bit better players gelling together, but it still doesn't give him a pass. The team has got to get better. Whether he is the Rangers manager or no in time, I'll not be making that decision. It'll be down to the board, and only results will dictate it. People want him out the now, fair enough, that's their opinion. But going and listen, if he's a wee bit arrogant or whatever about here or that, at the end of the day, he had to go in. He can't have his authority undermined. And whatever happened between him and Nico, and whatever happened, he came and made that decision. He's back. The chapter should be shut until such times as unless Nico wants away, and he'll knuckle down and just play away the now, because he's got a World Cup to go for. It'll come out in the wash when one of them leave, no doubt. It normally does. But up to now, I just want to see the best team on the park. And if that's a nucleus of the team that I seen on Saturday, then if that's the team that's got to gel together, then I hope that they start to gel together. And hopefully we'll get as many wins as we go. And whether he's the manager or no by Christmas or the end of the season, time will tell. But for me, I just want the best for Glasgow Rangers Football Club. I want to see a settled team on the park, and hopefully the football will get a bit better going forward. It was certainly quicker passing Smurf on Saturday for the two centre backs out wide in it, and you can see players free at times where eventually, and sometimes we were quick on to give them the ball. But we didn't create a lot in the first half, but we went into it at half time, mate. And at the end of the day, I thought we cruised our Hibs on Saturday. I don't think didn't feel Hibs at any point were coming back for once we scored, mate.
A wee bit?
I will have to probably, and we need to change it. We played a 4-2-3-1. We played a 4-2-3-1. That's what we were sort of played. Well, no, maybe he's doing wee tweaks. But see, at the end of the day, see if he's got to, does it really matter? It's about this team playing well. Get the wingers that on the ball quick, one-on-one with defenders. Start creating chances. We've got pace up front, and we've got Asgard. Hopefully he'll settle into a good player. And if Raskin and Diamandi's the two that's the engine, then we need to start trying to beat teams. We need to start getting a go on the win and run. Smurf, and whether he stays as manager or no, I don't care, mate. I just want Glasgow Rangers to win as many football games as possible. I go to the games, I spend my money, and I'll know, mate. It's been hard for us all. It's been hard for us all over the last period of time following Rangers, and more for the younger mob. It's harder for them and all. I know people that's only seen one league title, and they're nearly 27. They've seen two, but technically didn't remember the first one when he was there, and then when we won the league at Kilmarnock. So for that generation, it's hard, and they spend a lot of money, and they follow Rangers everywhere. But we're all going through the same as well, mate. So we just want to get winning.
If this guy's 27 and he can't remember 13 years ago, yeah, that means he was 14. You can't remember if he was 14 because you have cut it again.
Hold on, wait a minute, maybe the master's anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, no, he was younger than that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's that generation, no, it's tough to take for them. And they're all spending their hard-earned cash. And you look at them out in St Ibrox and the UB and all that, and all the young boys in there and stuff. So we just want to get back to winning ways, mate, and see whether he's a manager or not at the end of the season, Smurf. I don't care. I just want Rangers to start winning as many games as possible, mate, and we'll see where we are when we get to the end of the season,
all right, mate. I'll cut across you, mate. We've reached that time of the evening. Last word for your good self, Josh.
I agree with Southside. I don't care who the manager is, what he's done, or what we're asking. That'll come out in the dirty washing. Plain and simple. I just want us to start getting 3 points and start making a fight here and get us out of this second bottom of the league. And that's it.
Cheers, mate. Bob, yeah.
Aye, ditto. I just listened to all the points here. Brilliant. Great discussion, lads. I think a lot of you feel that Russell Martin has now got the stature to be a Rangers manager. That'll be the proof of the pudding as the season goes on. I didn't believe in sacking managers, changing managers. It's happened too often in the past. So we'll just have to see what the future, again, as you say, Roxy, you can only influence the future. We'll hate to see what the future brings in the next few weeks and few months and take it for there. How about everybody else? I want to see a consistent winning Rangers team with a unified support. So on that note, I'll say good night to you all. Thank you for having me again, Ox.
You'll look forward to your freshwater swim in the morning, Bob.
Oh, I'll right down the Forth at high water. Me and the dog, right in.
Cheers, Bob.
And no pants on, right.
Jim.
Aye.
Last word, mate. Come on,
Jim,
don't be shy. Aye, Jim.
No, brilliant. Fantastic, lads. I love the show. These are all characters. But get behind the Jers, he'll turn it round, and we'll be there. He will. I love it. I love this show. And best of luck to all these. Good health. And
cheers, Jim.
Good night.
Speak to you soon, mate. Yeah.
Right,
Cheers,
good night, lads.
Smurf.
Aye, thanks for taking me in. Aye.
You're sounding good,
no,
brother. You're sounding...
On board with Southside, I get it. I'll just leave you this. I took my Wayne up Conic Hill when he was 3. Good night. God bless.
Good night, mate. Good night, Smurf. Southside.
I think he's away there. I was going to tell him. I know when Big Jock used to take him up with Gull and Sands, he still went into the water after it for a dip, believe it or not. So there you go. I'll leave him with that one. I enjoyed the show tonight, mate. It's good that I'm getting a lot more callers on and everybody's got an opinion about the greatest club in the world. So I'd like to thank you, and it was good to be on tonight with the legend, the Bridgeman. Thank all the troops that was on the YouTube feed. There was quite a lot of them in the other night, mate, participating in the show, so I'd like to thank them for joining us, and everybody else on Facebook and Twitter. So as always, mate, there's only one team and one crown. Thanks for having us on.
Do you say you were spending your hard-earned cash or your hard-earned winnings?
Well, I said earlier I only had half left. So I got to come and spending it with it. And anyway, come on, Rangers, Thursday night under the lights, mate. Thursday night under the lights. Let's get Ibrox rocking. Let's get 3 points in the board to Europe.
Can I thank Josh, Jim, Bob J, and of course Smurf, and I thank your good self, Southside and Bridgeman, for doing the show. Hope everyone's all right with the bridge. Maybe a technical issue. Thanks to Fox and All School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. Talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, All School Blue.